camping. It's a public camping. It's just dispersed camping is what it is. So there's just like, you can see where fire rings are and places to park, and that's about it. That's the only structure of this campground. There's some rough gravel dirt roads in here, you can get into a spot and try to keep distance from other people, just out of respect, unless you're camping together. And it's all up to the people. There's nobody out here regulating it, really. It was pretty calm here when we got here, and it was late in the day, so we wanted to get a camp set up and get water filtered and all that. So then the neighbors who had camp set up, they probably went back to town to work. We see this sometimes, and then they show up after we've already set up camp, and they party real loud and riding their four-wheelers through here and dusting us out. And nothing, I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but it's not what we want. In our campsite, we like the peace and solitude and nature, and we're already set up and filtering water and making dinner and all that, and the rowdies show up, and so you don't really know what you're going to get. This happened to us in Missouri too. We set up, we had a beautiful night, and it was really nice. The next day, the people that had their camp set up, they probably just have left it there for a long time, and they just come there on the weekends and go back to work. They're loud and rowdy, so you really don't know, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't call the cops on them or whatever, or tell them to shut up. I mean, you can try that, but the real answer to that is to turn the key and leave and find another place. And eventually, you'll find a place that suits you best and attracts the type of people that you want to see. And it's usually away from popular lakes and rec areas, but this time we wanted to come check them out because we'd never been. It was worth it, it's worth that to us, to put up with the loud, rowdy neighbors and all that, just to come to a new place for a while and just experience it for ourselves. And that's okay. But, this is part of my recovery from, a depression and a past that where I wasn't happy, basically, without going into too much detail. But so finding real happiness, has been a goal of mine for several years now, and I started doing things that made me feel more at peace with myself and calm and happier and content, really, which is the core of true happiness, long-standing happiness, continuing happiness is based on contentedness. So being happy where you are, who you are at the time, is most important, because chasing happiness, it doesn't work like that. So you become content with who you are and where you are, and be happy now, and learn that. And that a lot of that was based on, for me, was based on patience and tolerance. So when something made me angry and uncomfortable, I learned to kind of understand the other's perspective, and plenty hot for dishes, and accept it, and if I didn't want to be around it, I'd go somewhere else instead of trying to fight it away there, and then not running away, but leaving and going towards happier places, and there's some times where you can't get away from that situation or person because of job or acquaintances, family, something like that, where you can't completely separate yourself from the dysfunction or the pain or whatever that is that you can't, sometimes you can't get away from it, and you don't want to run away from every problem, of course, but I think the core of my happiness, my long standing happiness, is contentedness, and being happy and accepting of who I am, where I am. And then with that attitude, I can pursue happiness further. One of the things that always stood out was travel and camping. Always extended my happiness and enriched it. So starting with a contentedness and accepting who I am and having patience and tolerance with myself,